Hey everyone, Stephanie Robilio here, licensed clinical social worker, published author, and the chief clinical officer at Agape Behavioral Healthcare, and you are tuning into the Mindful Living podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you for joining me. Today we are going to dive deep into why it is important to prioritize your mental health. There are a number of reasons why prioritizing your mental health is important. And one of the main reasons is because your mental health is the foundation for your entire well-being. And imagine if you were building a house, you wouldn't want to build that house on a wobbly foundation or an unstable foundation for a lot of reasons, right? It could collapse, leading to a number of problems. And the same is true as it relates to your mental health. Imagine your mental health to be the foundation of which you can build your life upon. And if that foundation is solid and strong and has the support in place, then you will be able to move forward in your life, do the things that you want to do as it relates to your goals, your dreams, your visions. And beyond that, you'll have what it takes to overcome the challenges that life will present, because we know that with life, there's always going to be certain challenges. But if our mental health isn't well, those challenges can feel bigger than what they actually are. And I think that goes back to just that reminder that everything on the outside is really a reflection of our inner world. And so taking care of our mental health must be a top priority so that you can handle life, and not just handle life, but thrive in your life. And I think it's important to really highlight how so many people end up suffering in silence because of the stigma that still exists. And for a lot of people, it's easier just to float at the surface than it is to really admit that they're struggling with anxiety or depression, or just the day-to-day responsibilities. Maybe a person's feeling overwhelmed with the day-to-day responsibilities and they feel embarrassed or some shame to open up and talk about that. But it's my belief that the more we open up and talk about the things that we're struggling with and kind of normalize that it is natural to struggle and it's okay to struggle, if we don't open up about that, then the stigma is going to remain in place. But every time we speak up and be honest and authentic and vulnerable, then stigma slowly fades and it loses its power. And so that's my invitation to you. If you are struggling with something, just know you don't have to struggle in silence. You don't have to hide your suffering behind a smile. There are people who care. And if you feel like you can't reach out to anybody in your support circle, then please reach out for professional help. Professional help is available, and sometimes we need professional help, and there's nothing wrong with that. I believe strongly that each and every one of you deserves to feel better, and beyond feeling better, feel your best and be in a position in your life where you feel like you have what it takes to manage your mental health. And if that means needing professional help to get there, then so be that. That's okay. Another reason why prioritizing our mental health is really important is because we know that if we have good mental health, then that can impact our relationships with others in a good way. Just like if we are struggling with our mental health, then that could negatively impact relationships, whether it's with a partner, a spouse, husband, wife, somebody at work, a mom, dad, other family members, friends, and even just the random person that you make eye contact with in a grocery store, right? Because we are bumping into people, whether we know them or not, every single day, especially if you're here in South Florida, where it seems like the population is just rapidly growing. We're exposed to people all day. And so what that means is relationships can be probably one of the top triggers, and beyond just relationships, people can be one of the top triggers for our mental health. But what I have found, even in my own life, is that when I am really taking care of me from the inside out, it becomes so much easier to show up for relationships, manage relationships, and beyond that, not feel easily agitated by the random person that maybe cut me off in traffic or bumped into my shopping cart or whatever, right? Because again, it all comes back to how we're feeling from the inside out. So taking care of your mental health so that you can be emotionally well for the people in your life, and that will put you in a position to be able to express your needs honestly, practice vulnerability. And the more you're being honest about where you're at with your life, then that allows your friends and family to be able to offer help or support or guidance. But what happens is if we as people suffer in silence, our loved ones, right? And the other people in our life, they're not mind readers. So they won't know what's happening. I know for me, there was a time going way back early in my 20s where I was hiding all of my pain behind a smile out of shame and embarrassment. I was so shameful to open up about what was happening in my life. And so I would just put on a smile, and everybody in my life, as far as my family and friends, thought that I was doing great. And on paper, I looked great, right? I had an amazing career working with kids in foster care. I was working on my master's degree. I was making A's. Like, everybody thought I had my life together. And I did have my life together, but I was also experiencing a lot of pain. But because I didn't open up about it, nobody could offer me help. And that's what's really important about our honesty. Every time we stay silent, we get sicker. And every time we're honest, we heal. And so that's the motto, right? In sickness, there's silence. In silence, there's sickness. Just like in honesty, we heal. In healing, there's honesty. And so I invite you to be honest about whatever it is you're going through so that you can get the help that you need and you deserve, and beyond that, so that you can feel better. We also know that taking care of our mental health, it helps us to be productive, right? If we're in a place of not feeling our best, then all that does is increase our stress and even the feelings of being overwhelmed. And in some cases, that can perpetuate the cycles of depression, making all of our day-to-day tasks really difficult to complete. And so it's shown that when we have good mental health, our productivity goes up because, again, we're feeling good. And then this puts us in a position to have better focus and clarity, and that leads to the outcomes that you desire. And one of my favorite parts to really talk about is the connection between our mental health and our physical health. I think that this is a topic that a lot of people are starting to talk about in the wellness world, and it's really amazing to hear. And I'm excited that people in the mental health realm are even starting to talk about this as well. But there is so much to be said about our lifestyle, our environment, the food we eat, what we drink, the amount of sleep, right? Like, all those pillars of wellness, we must take into account when we're looking at our mental health. And so what I have found is that when you prioritize your physical health, naturally, if you're consistent with that, your mental health is going to improve itself, because we know the mind and body are connected, and everything we put in our body impacts our mental health. Everything from an energy drink to a cup of coffee to what you decide to eat for lunch, like every single thing you put in your body impacts your mental health. So my encouragement is not that you have to go changing your whole lifestyle, but it's about remembering the little steps of change. The little steps of change that you make every single day, those are the steps that lead to the big outcomes. So let's say you wake up and usually you have 2 cups of coffee. Well, go back and just have 1 cup of coffee. Or maybe you wake up and the first thing you drink is Gatorade. Maybe you'll replace Gatorade with water in the morning. Maybe you go through the day and you only drink 2 cups of water. Make it a little goal to have 3 cups of water, right? Like, all those little things that you can do differently one day at a time, those are the little things that are going to lead to big outcome. And if you stay consistent with prioritizing your health, both in your mind and your body, I guarantee you are going to experience personal growth in a way you never have before. Because when we are taking care of our mind and bodies, it feels so good. And we know that it feels good to feel good. And the more you feel good, then the more you're going to want to continue to feel good. And you're going to show up in a really big way. And it's going to put you on the path of doing the things that you want to do in your life. You're going to be able to show up and say yes a lot more to your dreams, your goals, your interests, and even just the invitation from a loved one, because you'll be feeling good. And so today and always, I just want to encourage you to really make your mental health and your overall health a top priority in your life, because there is nothing selfish about putting yourself first. In fact, it's the opposite. It's self-love. To put yourself first is a beautiful act of self-love. And every single one of you, you deserve to give yourself the gift of self-love. And if you give yourself that gift, you will find that you're gonna be able to show up for your relationships, your career, whatever it is that you're working on or towards. You're gonna show up in a way that you've never showed up before, and you deserve that. You deserve that. So I hope that you found this helpful, and just remember, you only have one day at a time. So be kind and gentle to yourself, and remember, every single moment of every day is an opportunity to start over and choose again. And it's never too soon and it's never too late. Start where you are, start now. Until the next episode, so much love. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you found today's episode to be insightful and inspiring, drop me a review so together we can help the next person, and come connect with me on social at Stephanie Robilio, and find all of my books on Amazon. Until the next episode, stay mindful and always remember the power that lives inside of you.